Okay, so today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the drill that I used, another drill that I used in a blog post that I wrote earlier this week about improving your overhead position. This drill is called well, Kelly Starrett calls it the super front rack. It's a banded distraction stretch. So we're going to use, this is a 1 1/8 inch super band from Perform Better. So that's what we're going to use for this mobilization. So just to kind of rehash things, you want to go in first. What I did was I kind of assessed my range of motion that day. Then I did a little soft tissue work, nothing crazy, but foam roller, and then I used lacrosse ball. I just got the yoga tune-up balls from Jill Miller. Going in a little bit more specifically through the thoracic spine, working with that. Then I went through a list of mobilizations that I was just kind of like, they're ones that I like for myself, that I throw in between sets of things, but I'd never really done them kind of grouped together. So I did that and then went back and checked my overhead position, and it actually improved it. So the cool thing was that it worked. One thing that in retrospect, I think I could have like chalked out maybe 1 or 2 things out of there, and that's fine. So my whole point of the post and the way that the message I was trying to give out was that you want to try to take a snapshot kind of where you are today. You know, like range of motion is what we were looking at there. But that has to do with mobility. That has to do with your ability to stabilize in that position, your ability to get into the good positions that you're supposed to for whichever exercises you're doing that day. And then do things to see if you can improve it. And then once you've done those things, go back and actually reassess to see if you actually made a change. So that's the same kind of thought process that the FMS prescribes, because it's all about testing and retesting to kind of see if we're making a positive change. Hopefully we are, because the most stupid thing that you could do is just kind of like throw exercises together with the hope of it actually changing things and assume that that's happening, and it's not really doing anything, because that's a complete waste of time. So I think it makes a lot more sense to find sequences that work for myself and that work for my clients, and look and see if they're actually helping, and then use that, versus just kind of like throwing exercises at people and then thinking that it's going to help. Because, you know, that might work, but wouldn't you want to see if things are actually changing? You know, it's not a big question. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to demonstrate this drill. What we need to do is I'm going to actually show it on the left arm so that we can see it a little bit better, hopefully on the camera. You're going to get your hand inside the band. Okay, let me take this watch off. Whoop. All right, so you want to get your hand inside the band and then reach around and grab it so that it loops around the wrist, the back side of your wrist. Okay, and so what we're going to do specifically for this drill is we want to try to keep the palm up as best as possible the entire time, and you want to try to keep your elbow in. So I'm short, so this is easy for me, but you want to get down, like I've got it anchored really low down. For me, I'm short again, that works. For taller people, probably need to bring it up a little bit. But what I'm going to do is get to where I'm in this position here. So palm is up, I'm using my other hand to keep my elbow towards my head. And then from here, what I'm doing, you can step forward to kind of tension on the band a little bit. I'm trying to make sure that I'm like neutral through here, my butt's tight here. Staggered stance so that I've got good balance. And then also too, it's keeping my low back in a nice good position, but palm is up on this left hand. Feeling a good stretch through the tricep. We can kind of play around and see what's going on, because this all feeds through here. I've got chronic tight issues with this left side of my body, so that feels really good to me to go in that frontal plane. Okay, but really, in a nutshell, you got to get out of it safely too. You don't want to just like be standing here and just let go of the band. In a nutshell, that's the super front rack, banded mob. So another part of the little sequence that I came up with the other day, and a good one to throw in if you're doing a lot of overhead pressing, or if you've got tight, stiff shoulders, protracted, sit at a desk all day. That's most people, sit, period. So give that a shot. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.